Hello, everybody. It's Gant'tar here today. We are reacting to the the um the, the fight child abuse. I saw myself reacted to this, but I wanted to do it anyway because I love children, but sometimes children get abused. So I wanted to do it. I wanted to do it as well. So I wanted to do it. So I just want to do it as I want it. So this one, and this one's called teenager sexual abuse. Let's watch it, and I'm not going to give you. I'm going to break down to it.
Hi there, I'm Kim.
Hi, Kim.
My friends and I have some stories to share.
All right.
What do you expect from being a teenager?
Yeah.
Going out with friends more.
Making that money.
Getting a real relationship.
True.
Driving Dad's 69 Camaro.
Yeah.
Meeting new friends.
Yeah.
Sexual assault.
What?
Sexual manipulation.
Predatory people.
What is that?
Wait.
Ongoing abuse. Buried trauma.
Broken boundaries. Touching without consent.
Why?
So it turns out sexual abuse is something that a lot of us end up dealing with. It's a messed up topic that nobody wants to talk about.
Yeah.
But while nobody's talking about it, we're living with it.
As we get older, independence and jobs and relationships, they're great. But there are a lot of things that we don't think about that can lead to sexual abuse. That's why we want to talk about it. When I started going out with friends more and doing stuff on my own, I was having fun. But I was new to a lot of things.
I knew it was possible for someone to try to take advantage of a person my age, but I never imagined it happening to me.
And I wasn't used to having to stand up for myself in an unsafe situation.
Sexual abuse can come from a relative, a boss, a teacher, a church pastor.
Yeah.
A scout leader. A close friend.
Yeah.
Someone on the internet.
Yeah.
It can even happen when you're on a date. Or just hanging out.
True.
Look, it happens to both girls and boys, and we want to show you how to stop sexual abuse before it causes more pain for you or your friends.
When you really think about it, you don't have to look far to find someone that's dealt with abuse.
Or someone that's got something on their mind that hurts to talk about.
Or someone that's been taken advantage of because they're growing up and want to fit in or have a relationship.
Or someone that feels guilty or responsible for someone else's abusive behavior.
Or someone that feels isolated and trapped by a situation. Everyone's got their own story. Even though sexual abuse is hard to talk about, sharing experiences helps us recognize sexual abuse in dangerous situations in our own lives.
Bottom line, if someone's behavior makes you uncomfortable, you can tell them to stop. And if they don't stop, they're in the wrong, and you should get away.
We want to talk about sexual abuse. We want to talk about preventing it from happening.
We want to talk about listening to ourselves and not giving in to social pressure or lies. And watching out for our friends when they're in unsafe situations.
That means recognizing how abusive people can take advantage of you.
Abuse can feel very lonely and personal, but I think that by talking about it, we can get rid of the stigma.
Sexual abuse can catch you totally off guard, but experiences like ours can show you the red flags that can help keep you safe.
There's no way I would like blue. Yeah, it's something different about the personal life. But anybody does it too. But we're going to look is just aimed at little kids well, but I don't know if we could find one. Oh yeah, I had that before too. So this video we're going to react to is online sexual abuse can happen. So let's watch that.
Everything seems so much more innocent in a text.
Okay.
Especially coming from your boyfriend.
That's her. Okay, that's bad. Oh damn. Shit.
Kevin was this awesome guy I met online. He went to another school and he had a cool car. We talked all the time. He made me feel good. He was like my own private adventure. It was exciting and fun. When he started asking for revealing pictures, I guess I just thought it was normal.
That was not normal.
At first, it was embarrassing.
Yes.
But I was like, it's just a bikini top.
It's true.
And he said he really loved me. And yeah, it felt kind of good knowing somebody wanted to see me.
Not true.
Especially when I didn't always feel that good about myself.
Yeah.
But it got to be so much pressure. He kept asking for more.
Oh wow.
And for me to take off my bra.
No, don't do it.
It made me think about how much I really knew Kevin. We'd only actually hung out in person a few times. The last time we ended up at some guy's house party and things got really physical.
Yeah.
I didn't say anything, but it kind of felt like that was all he wanted.
Where's my pics? Do you even care about me? Pics.
A lot of his behavior was coming off so creepy.
Still,
When I stopped sending them, he got pissed. I just wanted him to chill out with the requests. But he started sending, like, immature threats.
Come on, I too much blackmail, Emma. I got long friends.
Seriously? Really? So it was going downhill fast.
Dang, he's still
I tried to
going.
ignore him, but he was blowing up my phone.
Oh, you're gonna do it. She's gonna do it.
Then the plot thickened. Jonathan?
Hey, Kim. Have you seen your picture up?
Oh my god. He posted one of my pictures. I had never felt betrayed like that before. Our private relationship, my trust, was being used against me.
Dang.
It was beyond over, and I let him know it. Kevin! But Kevin still has my photos, and I can't control what he does with them. I loved how my relationship with him felt so private. Until it made me feel powerless.
Every picture. Dang.
Be careful. Online relationships can be dangerous. That sense of privacy feels safe and exciting, but that privacy can also isolate you and lead to manipulation. But no matter what you've agreed to in the past, you can change your mind. And that decision should always be respected.
She's right. Actually, Kim, can I say something?
Please do.
If you're the person pressuring someone to do something they're not comfortable with, after they've said no, you're acting like a predator. Being in a relationship means respecting the other person's choices. And I can't believe I have to say this, but if you're demanding nudes, sharing them, or threatening to share them, that's disgusting, not to mention illegal. Anyone who does that loses all respect.
Thanks, Jonathan.
No problem. Sorry for interrupting.
If you find yourself in a similar situation and you're struggling with what to do, talk to someone you trust. What happened to me has been hard to move past, but talking about it has helped a lot, and hopefully it can help you too.
You see a twisted dog. That happened to me before too, because online, well, I'm not online stressor, but I was just tell a story. I had a stressor, I have a person where they gave me this girl who was assessed me. She assessed abuse and everything. I'm assuming that's up with it. Okay, so we're gonna watch. So we're gonna watch. Stop the secrets that hurt. My tutor abused me. Oh, this is like what a craziest story. That's like the craziest story. Let's watch it. My tutor abused me.
My name's Eva.
Hey,
and I got into an abusive relationship with my tutor, Mr. Allen. Mr. Allen started out just being my friend.
No.
But over the weeks, Mr. Allen started touching me and making me touch him. It got to the point that I didn't want to go to tutoring or see Mr. Allen anymore. But I couldn't tell anybody why. I'd have to say that I let Mr. Allen touch me.
Why would you?
And that we had sex.
Oh.
I was scared. And I thought it was all my fault.
Not your fault.
People like Eva can feel like they're trapped by abuse.
That's true.
Their worries make them ignore the feeling inside that tells them to get help.
That's true.
But our feelings help keep us safe.
Yeah.
They tell us when something will hurt us or make us sick.
Wow.
They also tell us when touches or situations are unsafe.
They are unsafe.
Eva's story is about learning to trust your feelings to stay safe from abuse.
Yeah.
Tutoring was in the afternoon, after everyone else had gone home. I was the only kid in the class.
Wow.
I guess no one else was bad at math.
No,
Mr. Allen was a fun tutor. He loved to talk about my favorite TV shows.
Wow.
He would sit next to me and go over my problems with me, and if I couldn't think of an answer, he would rub my shoulders. It kind of made me feel weird, but I thought he was being nice, so I didn't think about it much. Sometimes Mr. Allen would give me a hug when I came in the door. Even though he touched me a lot, I liked coming to tutoring because he was really nice to me. But when he wanted me to touch him, I thought I had to be nice back. I didn't know what else to do.
Just don't do it.
When we started taking off clothes, I didn't know how to say no. A few times we had sex, and I didn't know how to stop it. It made me feel scared and gross. But I thought Mr. Allen was in love with me. I thought that's what people did when they're in love. I felt like the mouse, trapped in his cage. After a while, thinking about tutoring made me feel sick. I wanted it to stop. But I didn't want to get Mr. Allen into trouble. I couldn't imagine telling anyone anyway. How could I tell my dad I let Mr. Allen touch me for so long? I felt like it was my fault. Some nights, I stared at my math book till my eyes hurt, trying to learn enough so I wouldn't have to go back to tutoring. I couldn't think of any other way out. Then one day, Mr. Allen was outside talking in the hall. I felt something by my foot. It was the mouse. He escaped.
Oh.
Somehow, right then I knew that I could escape too. I left immediately and went straight home and told my dad everything.
Yeah, tell your dad.
He knew what to do.
Yeah.
And I felt better. But I cried a lot that night. I think mostly because I was relieved to finally tell. I never saw Mr. Allen again. Telling was hard, but I know now that if something feels weird or wrong, it is. You just have to tell someone about it.
I I'm so glad Eva was able to trust her feelings and talk about her abuse. It was confusing because Eva liked Mr. Allen, but his touches made her feel weird and gross. Sometimes the smallest feeling is the one that tells us that something's wrong. But if something feels wrong, it is. Eva thought the abuse was her fault because she didn't stop it sooner. But it's never anyone's fault but the abuser's. And it's never too late to tell someone that something bad is happening to you. If telling your parents isn't an option, you can tell a teacher or a school counselor. Keep telling until someone listens and helps make it stop.
Yeah, they will help you. Yeah, they'll help you and save you. That's crazy. Yeah, because they can help you out for anything they want you to do. Yeah, because they help you out. So we're gonna watch the other one where the secrets hurt, but it's like 5 minutes. But let's watch that one. To tell the whole story. That's what is the stories will hurt.
I remember the day I told my mom that I didn't want to go to my youth group anymore.
Wow.
She asked me why, and I said that Pete, my group leader, makes me do things that I don't want to do, and I don't want to see him anymore.
Oh, that's true.
But she didn't understand.
What?
She said that I might hurt Pete's feelings.
Why would you?
I tried to tell my mom that my youth group leader sexually abused me, but she made me go anyway. It made me think that she was okay with what Pete did.
Wow.
I tried to tell. I didn't know what else to do to make it stop.
What?
For a lot of kids, abuse is the hardest thing they've ever had to talk about.
True.
Instead of telling an adult what happened, kids might try to avoid being around the person who abused them without ever saying why. But just saying you don't want to see someone doesn't help the adult understand what happened. Charlie's youth group leader abused him, and even though he tried to tell, he did it in a disguised way. He didn't tell directly about the abuse, so nobody knew what was really going on.
Pete led Truth Finders, our youth group, on Thursday nights, which basically means he played games and hung out like us. Pete told me I was his favorite. After a little while coming to the group, he asked me to start coming before everyone else so we could hang out. It was cool having an older friend like Pete. We'd play games or talk about school or have full-on wrestling matches. But I thought it was weird how Pete touched me when we were alone. But he would go back to normal when everybody else got there. I told my mom that I really didn't like Pete anymore. But she said she thought Pete and I were good friends. Mom kept telling me to hang out with Pete, and I got weirded out because he touched me more and more. One time I got there and Pete didn't have a shirt on. He said it was hot and I should take my shirt off too. He made me lie down on the couch and touch his private parts.
What?
I tried telling my mom again. I said that I didn't want to go to Truth Finders, that I didn't like it anymore. It was boring. But she said she wanted me to go because Pete was a good influence. I wanted to tell her more, but I couldn't say the right words. I was so scared and alone. I thought no one cared. My mom wouldn't let me stop seeing Pete. One night, there were other people there already. And I realized that I might not be the only person that Pete abused. I felt like I had to tell someone or I'd fall apart. Carlos was my best friend. I usually tell him everything. But I couldn't make the words come out. I went to Carlos's mom and just started talking. I told her I needed help. I couldn't make my mom understand before. This time I said that the youth group leader had been touching me and made me touch him. I told her Pete sexually abused me, and she told me that wasn't going to happen anymore.
Yeah, that's true.
Charlie was finally able to tell an adult that his group leader abused him and make it stop for good. Even though Charlie tried to tell about his abuse early on, his mom thought he was just avoiding going to his group. If you've been abused and you've decided that you're ready to tell, it's important to tell an adult who you trust. Tell them who did it and what they did. You don't have to tell every detail, but the adult has to understand that you were abused and know who did it. Then they can help make it stop. Just like Carlos's mom helped Charlie. When Carlos's mom told Charlie's mom specifically what happened, she was glad that she understood and thanked Charlie for helping her understand.
She trusted her son. She trusted her son. First, she didn't trust him. But I ain't never been get abused at all, but that's the thing I didn't get hit from. So, we're going to protect yourselves. So we're not going to watch what Mischa watching. We're just going to do what we want. Let's watch Protect Yourself Rules Cyberbullying. We're going to watch the bullying again. We're going to watch bullying. Cyberbullying, yeah, this is really good.
Hey, I'm Darius.
And I'm Maya. And I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of addicted to my phone and my computer.
We both are. But hey, they do great things.
They're great at waking us up.
They let us have important conversations with our friends.
And they keep us informed about the world.
So yeah, our phones and computers are amazing. But we don't always do amazing things with them.
It's all too common that we hear about our friends being cyberbullied. Or maybe we've even experienced cyberbullying ourselves.
Cyberbullying is any sort of communication through your phone or your computer that's meant to hurt or intimidate another person. If it happens to you, it's hard not to react. And if you're the one doing it, it's easy to forget that you might be hurting a real person.
You never know what someone might be going through. With so much negativity on social media, more and more kids are experiencing anxiety and depression.
And I would never want to be the person who makes that worse.
You've probably heard the phrase, think before you speak, a million times.
But this might be a new one. Think before you post.
Yeah, think before you post.
The next time you want to say something out of anger or make a joke about someone online, think about how it might feel if it happened to you. You might think they deserve it, or you're just joking around. But what you're about to do is bullying.
If you see it happening to someone else, be courageous enough to speak up for them in a positive way.
In order to stand up for yourself, remember these tips. Block, report, and tell an adult.
Block the person bullying you. Report the abuse if you can. And remember, keep the messages. You might need to show them to an adult.
Tell an adult you trust. They want to help you.
Remember, what we say to each other matters.
Yeah, you never know what someone else might be going through.
And if you're being bullied, it's not your fault. No one has the right to hurt you or make you feel unsafe, online or in person.
Remember,
block, report, and tell an adult.
Even though it doesn't always feel like it,
there's so much more to life than our phones and social media.
Yeah, that happens to a lot of people too, though. it's like, you know, it happens a lot of times on people. Well, my best friend got cyberbullied too. Well, in public though. But in public, my best friend was feel unsafe, and she said this boy touched my breast in private or public. And my best friend said in public, the guy just touched her breast. I'm like, what? I would not let no one do that to you. But I stand up for this. I stand up for them for some reason. Yeah, and I knew it was going to be it wasn't a good idea. So let's watch the video. Let's watch bullying. This is another video of it. Yeah, bullying. I get bullied and I get bullied a lot.
Hi, I'm Maya.
Hello.
And I'm Darius.
And we have to talk about something.
It's bullying.
When people think of bullying, they think of kids getting shoved into lockers or having their heads flushed in a toilet.
Yeah.
But the truth is, bullying can be a lot more complicated than that.
Bullies use their power to hurt or control others. And they might make you feel unsafe in places where you should feel protected.
And that's not okay. Your school, sports teams, and after-school clubs have to be safe spaces for everyone. There was a time when I didn't feel welcome at school. Some girls that I thought were my friends had decided I wasn't cool enough for them. Everywhere I went, they either laughed at me, made fun of me, or ignored me altogether. I didn't know what to do.
Yeah, there was a time when I didn't feel safe at school. I started to dread coming to football practice because one of my teammates would always take the drills too far. It didn't seem like anyone noticed. I mean, the coach was too busy focusing on the whole team to see me being bullied.
No one ever has the right to hurt you or make you feel unsafe.
The problem is, bullying is hard to stop. And that's because most people's first reaction to bullying is to ignore it. You may feel like it will go away, but the problem with ignoring it
is that it won't stop, and it might even get worse. Maybe you're embarrassed, or you want to believe that it's not a big deal.
Or maybe you're afraid that telling will make it worse. Or that whoever you need to tell won't understand. Or be able to help.
That's true.
But trust us, because we've been there. If you're being bullied, there's only one way to deal with it.
Stop, walk away, and tell an adult. Stop taking the abuse.
Get yourself away from the situation.
And go talk to an adult you trust. Tell them everything.
Parents, teachers, counselors, and coaches' first priority is your safety. Believe me, there are adults that want to help you.
Bullies might scare you out of telling, but if you tell an adult, the bullying is more likely to stop.
The adults in our lives won't tolerate bullying, but we can't tolerate it either. We have to stand up for each other, and we all know some kids get it the worst.
That's true.
Last year, a friend of ours started feeling unwelcome and unsafe at school. He was being bullied for weeks just for being different and having different interests than some of the other kids at school.
We didn't want to see our friend get hurt or feel like he didn't belong. So we helped do something about it.
Kids who are LGBTQ, or who are of color, or maybe have learning challenges or physical differences, might get bullied the most. We need to work together to decide how safe our school can be.
Our differences are our strengths. We also know that bullies need help too.
Sure.
But we can't tolerate their behavior. Never ignore bullying. Never stay silent.
Yes,
You will help yourself and help your bully more by speaking up.
Sure.
Stop, walk away, and tell an adult. even if the bullying happens online or on your phone. Speak up whenever you see, hear about, or experience bullying.
Do it for yourself, for your friends, for the kids you've never even met. Always speak up.
It's time we work together to make our schools safer for everyone.
Yeah. That is true. Yeah. I think I've been there. I've been bullied before for some reason. You know how I've been. So, I've been doing this for a long time. So, we're going to watch this. We're going to watch Stop the Secrets That Hurt Such Abuse is Confusing. That's like a true of this story. They have special messages to tell you, but they will tell you the messages, but let's watch this anyway. Sexual abuse is confusing.
Hey guys.
As peer counselors, we want to bring information about sexual abuse out in the open. But sometimes the hardest part of dealing with abuse is understanding what's even happening.
Sexual abuse is when someone touches the private parts of your body. You know, the parts of the body underneath the bathing suit. Or abuse is when the person has you touch his or her private parts, or shows you pictures of naked people.
Many times, touches that are uncomfortable start as touches that are too friendly or part of a game. While these touches might make you feel uncomfortable, you're not sure if the touch is sexual abuse. Even if these touches make you feel uncomfortable or nervous, you might not really understand that something is wrong.
By the time you realize that the touching is sexual abuse, you don't know how to make it stop.
Even if you didn't say no when the touching started, you can say no now. Sexual abuse hurts because it violates your right to control your body.
Abusers can be someone you trust. Maybe it's someone who gives you lessons or teaches you how to play sports, or even a relative. Because you know the person well, and they can tell you what to do, it's even harder to say no if they do something that makes you feel uncomfortable.
We have a letter from Quinn, who wrote about a situation with an older person that had been a friend. The person touched Quinn inappropriately, saying it was just a game.
Yeah.
It was very confusing for Quinn because the older person had been nice before and gave Quinn special gifts.
Wait. Was that like BS4? Is that like PS4? I didn't see that in the distance.
And video games. The person did this to make Quinn feel okay about what was really going on, and to make sure Quinn didn't tell anybody about the abuse.
Oh, yeah.
When the abuse has gone on for a while, it's easy to think that it's your fault for not stopping it sooner, or for going along with it. The most important thing to remember is that abuse is never your fault.
If you think you've been abused, or there's someone in your life who makes you uncomfortable, you need to tell a trusted adult. Talking about it can be scary, but it's the first step to making it stop.
It will stop if you really did. So we're gonna watch some of the videos we never understand. So we didn't watch Maya's story yet. I don't know if we find Maya's story though. We gotta find Maya's story. You don't know, you understand it. Yeah, so we're going to watch Maya's story before. So we're going to watch Protect Yourself Rules Secrets. But this is always rehearsed. So we're going to watch it for Secrets.
Hi, I'm Maya.
Hey, Maya.
A couple weeks ago, someone I knew touched me on a private part of my body. It was hard to talk about what happened, but this is something none of us should ever keep secret. My friend Jess had a pool party and invited everyone from our class.
Okay.
Jess's parents were inside,
Wow.
and her older brother Roger was watching the party.
Okay.
I'd seen Roger around, and I thought he was pretty cool.
Okay.
I went into Jess's room to change, and then I got undressed. I heard a noise and turned, and Roger was in the room with me. He saw me changing. I was so embarrassed, but he tried to play it off like nothing had happened.
Wow.
He said he'd noticed me checking him out and that we should get to know each other. He started to touch me, and I freaked out. I didn't know what to do. I thought Roger was a nice guy. But anybody that invades your privacy or tries to touch your private parts is a creep.
True.
Touching like that is not okay.
It's not safe.
You have to tell them no and get away.
Yeah.
I took his hand away and said, "Don't touch me."
That's true.
He got mad and told me not to tell anyone about what happened. If I did, he said he'd tell everyone I was flirting with him. It felt gross to keep what Roger did a secret, but I didn't want people to think bad things about me.
True.
Girls and boys in our grade hang out together more.
Yeah, that's true.
But there are boundaries for touching.
Yeah.
So why did I feel like I'd done something wrong? Was it my fault for wearing a bathing suit?
No.
I felt confused and alone. I couldn't even talk to Jess, but I knew I had to tell someone. So I told my mom. I was nervous. What if she didn't believe me? Or freaked out? But that didn't happen.
She believed you.
She listened.
Yeah.
And took what happened seriously.
Yeah.
I was just glad to finally talk about it.
Yeah, she did.
I'm sorry this happened, Maya,
Well,
but you did the right thing.
She just went through.
Touching someone on private parts of their body is abuse.
I kept thinking that it was my fault that Roger touched me. But even if someone thinks you're flirting with them, it doesn't give them permission to touch you.
That's right. It's never your fault if someone tries to touch you, no matter what you're wearing. If this does happen, you have to tell an adult you trust. I'm glad you remembered the rules, Maya, and knew how to protect yourself.
Thanks, Miss Barbara.
Yep, that's where it comes with. You have something you really want to talk to. Okay, we're going to watch our last one. We're going to watch our last one. We're going to watch our last one because I'm trying to find which one we did not watch a minute ago. Trying to find one of them. I'm trying to find what I found though. We're gonna watch our last one though. We're gonna watch our last one. We'll watch our last one. Gonna watch our last one though. Okay, our last video we're gonna watch is Protect Yourself Rules. Can't go home. So I think that's really a still little story, but let's watch it anyways. Okay, but it's not just can't go home.
Hi, my name's Darius.
Hey, Darius.
I'm going to tell you about what used to happen at my house. I never really liked to talk about it,
Oh,
but some of you might have the same story.
I think I do.
Maybe there are other kids who don't like going home after school.
That's true.
I could always hear my mom and dad from outside.
Oh yeah,
They'd
that's
fight about money, bills, work, and everything else.
same.
I know things are hard, so I'd try to stay out of their way.
That's true.
But it was easy for them to find something to get angry about, like a messy room.
That's true.
Some parents don't know how to hold back, and kids like me are scared that if we mess up, we'll get hit
Not really
hard.
That's not
No
really
one should get hurt at home,
True.
and you can't keep it to yourself if it happens.
You can't.
I love my dad,
You do.
but it doesn't matter who it is. If someone hurts you,
Yeah,
it has to stop.
it has to.
I needed help. They say teachers and counselors at school are people that you can talk to.
You can.
And it was true. I went to the school counselor and she knew what to do.
Yeah.
She said someone would come by to help us.
Yeah.
It felt really good to tell someone.
Yeah.
Things got better after that. My parents got help. I was never hit again.
Thank you, Darius. It can be hard to understand if someone you love acts violently, but you have to keep yourself safe if they do. Adults with bad tempers might not always be able to tell the difference between punishment and abuse. Remember, abuse includes hitting, throwing things, and verbal attacks. If someone in your home does this, it doesn't matter who it is. You must tell. Talk to other adults, like teachers or counselors.
They want to help. No one has the right to hurt you. If you think you've been abused, remember the protect yourself rules to know when to ask for help and how to stay safe.
That is true. Satisfactory true. Satisfactory. True. And specifically true. That is specifically true because if you are like you're in safe touching and stuff, that will not gonna happen to you. But I'm going to end the video right here. There gonna be two. There gonna be like one video for the previous video you're seeing right now on screen. And if you want to see more of my reacting videos, check the playlist. And check the videos is on the up and down. You go to the videos like left and right, and check my playlist of it down here. And that's all for you. And see you in the video. From the Keyboard Squad. Love you. Bye bye. Sorry, that wasn't even in the video, so I just wanted to do a little preview of it. Join the Keyboard Squad. Love you. Bye bye.